while I'm at that too.
Okay, welcome to the Fortnite porting 101 basics class. Today we'll be teaching you the basics to porting skins by demonstrating live while explaining what we're doing during the event. My name is Gug or Chaosity. I'm an admin here on the Grimm's art server, and I've been porting skins for the pack and for my own personal use for about a year now. And I felt like it was about time for someone on the server to come out and make a tutorial video on how to port Fortnite. And I decided, you know what would be better off than doing it live with people in the voice chat with me while I do it. So without further ado, we'll get started. I hope that you ended up watching the prerequisite video that I posted in the workshop announcements channel, explaining for you how to set up your umodel and the PSK plugin. And without that, if you don't have that set up, I'll give you a minute to set it up real quick. If you have any questions while setting it up, you can let me know. But if everyone has it set up, just let me know in workshop chat, and I'll just move on to the actual porting. But another important thing is if you're not going to be porting using your, if you're not going to be porting using umodel, but you're going to use a PSK downloads folder, you will be learning from my good friend Robot, who is currently streaming right now. I believe he's drawing something right now. If you'd like, you can introduce yourself real quick.
Oh yeah, I'm Robot. I've been in the Blender community for about 5-ish years now. I do 3D art, and I've been porting Fortnite skins for give or take 6 months now. I'm a bit less experienced than Chaosity, but rest assured I can help you out too.
Okay, so real quickly, if you want to port using umodel, which is the course I will be leading today, stay in this voice chat. But if you want to learn how to port using a PSK downloads folder, which doesn't require you to have the game files installed on your computer, just join Workshop VC2, which is right below this one. And then you'll be going with Robot, who just joined. And if not, if no one's going to be going, then I'll just bring him back up here, so you can be of assistance to us. Okay, I'll just have him join back real quick then, and I will start the screen share. Okay, so I believe I am screen sharing for you guys now. That's actually going to be another course I'm going to be doing later in this week. I'm pretty sure I'll be doing it Wednesday. I haven't fully decided yet, but yeah. Okay, so the first things first is you're going to open up your Blender and your umodel. Open your Blender and just leave it open in the background. And then we want to open the umodel that we set up. Make sure that you have it set up in the correct folder, which is your Epic Games downloads folder, Fortnite game, content, packs. And once you have it set up there, you'll be good. For the settings that we want to set up for our umodel, we want to check override game detection. We want to hit Unreal Engine 4, and then scroll all the way down to Unreal Engine 4.27. You want to leave all this stuff checked unless you want to uncheck animation, which you don't really need to. And then you just want to hit OK. It's going to request an AES key, which if you go into the bot commands of this Discord server, you can just hit !AES, put it in chat, and then it'll give you your AES key, which we can just copy and then we can paste into here like so. It'll just take a second, then it will slowly open up our umodel because it just needs to use the AES key to unlock the game's files. Any questions so far? None? Okay, cool. So now we're going to be porting the Jonesy skin. So we're going to go back into our bot commands channel, and we're going to type in CID and then the name of the skin that we're porting, which is Jonesy. And then once we enter that in, we get a little data table that explains us all the stuff that we need to look for within our umodel. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to copy that first little bit, which is m_med_base_commando. we're just going to hit Control C on our keyboard to copy that, paste it into this filter zone, and then check that flat view. It's important that you do check that flat view because that kind of clears off everything out of our way. And it also allows you to search through all the game files and not just that folder. My bad, a little bit of a stutter. And then once we do, we are going to look for our body, which is going to be a mesh. We want the mesh here. Then we're going to want to uncheck, and then we can remove all the bit in there. And then we can double click it just to make sure that this is the skin we want. There's a different skin's textures on this right now, but overall we do have the right skin. So we can just right click it. By the way, if you want to get back to this menu right here, it's just O on your keyboard. You can just right click this and then hit export. The export folder is by default sent to the same location as your umodel, which will be your game files. There's no real reason to change this. It's not like Epic Games is going to murder you if you have it in there. After that, we're going to need to go right on back into our commands channel, and then we're going to need to paste the second bit, which is Jonesy underscore redux underscore body. Want to check, and then we get a list of textures right here. We're going to want to click on just one of those, and then boom, we have a bunch of textures here. Now, with this skin, it does provide us with an E and FX texture, but since you don't need it with this skin, we're just going to kind of skip over it. We're going to want to select all the other textures by hitting Control and then clicking on each texture. Then once you do that, you can right click and export. Now we're going to just need to get our head textures by copying M underscore MED underscore CAU underscore Jonesy underscore rebirth underscore head underscore 01. Then we're just going to need to paste that right there. And once we do, we get location to the head mesh. We can just right click and export it. I believe this is actually the wrong mesh. Yeah, I believe this is the wrong mesh. My bad. You want to do the Jonesy head under this one right above it. Jonesy's skin is really weird with its texturing, so you just want to do that one instead by right clicking and exporting. Then you want to go to then you're going to go back into this folder and then access the skins. Or where did they put it? Is it here still? I'm trying to remember where they moved these textures to. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's in the Jonesy underscore default redux. And then we just want to select all of these, right click, export. And then once we do that, we can tab our umodel down, and we have all of the assets ripped from the file so far. We're going to delete, now we're going to go into our Blender, we're going to delete that default cube right there. And once we have that cube deleted, we want to hit that file. And then judging that you have the PSK plugin installed that was showed in the video earlier, you're going to want to go to import PSK. And then once you have that open, you're going to want to go to your drive or wherever you have Fortnite installed, which for me, I have a hotkey folder to there, but it's going to be in whatever location you set your thing to. And then we're going to want to go into our game folder, our characters folder, players, male, medium, bodies, and then we're going to go to not soldier redux. We're going to want to go to, oh, that's what I forgot to do. I forgot, I think I went over this, but I think I went over how to get the body textures. I may have just forgotten that I did it. Anyways, we're going to want to go to base commando, meshes, and then base commando.psk. And then we have all this in here. We can delete, by going to edit mode, we can delete bones by selecting them and then hitting delete on our keyword. I gotta make sure, yeah, this is the right one, so I'm just gonna want to delete this head right here, this head bone, by hitting delete key and then delete. And then I'm gonna want to go through and then import the head the same way, but I am going to use this arrow right here to navigate back to the heads folder. I'm gonna double click the Jonesy head underscore 01, and then I'm gonna double click the Jonesy head, and then we have it imported. I'm gonna want to go through back in edit mode, select all those, delete. I want to scroll in a little, drag up, delete, and delete, and now we have all of our bones, I believe. So now what we want to do is we want to click on both the head bones, and then we're going to shift click on the body bones and hit Control J on your keyboard. Then we want to do the same with the actual mesh itself by hitting selecting both and then hitting Control J. Once we have done that, we can start posing. Oh wait, okay, this skin I believe you have to reparent, which we can double check real quick. Yeah, we gotta reparent real quick, which is a very vital thing that you know how to do, but it's a very simple thing to know how to do as well. All we need to do is we need to click on that face attach bone right there, I believe, and then, or I believe it may be the head bone. You can double check real quick by trying to move the head bone. Yeah, so we gotta reparent the head bone. So to do that, we just want to hit edit mode, and then we're going to go to this right here, which is data object, or no, we want to go to the one right below it. We want to go to the single bone, which is bone properties. Then we're going to check down on relations, and then we want to parent this to neck underscore 02, I believe, which we can double check by just checking there. So if we did that correctly, we can go into pose mode, and then we can rotate, and it rotates. After you do that, you can right click on the mesh on the actual body, and then you can just hit shade smooth, and now we got our character like that. Now in my folder I also put a FN standard shader, which you can access, which you need to apply to your file for your Jonesy skin, which you can do by hitting file, append, and you can scroll to wherever you downloaded it to, which I believe I downloaded mine to downloads. There it is, FN standard shader. Once you're in there, you want to go to node tree, which is basically a node group set up by another user, which in this case is the person that made the shader. And then we're going to double click that custom FN shader 1.5, and then that'll import that shader into our Blender. So now if you want to now what you want to do is you want to go into this tab called shading, which you do by clicking there, and then you'll have 3 textures that you're going to need to do, which will be very simple. So what you're going to do is you're going to check the use nodes box, you're going to delete that, you want to shift A, hit S on your keyboard, then you're going to type in FN, and then our shader pops up right there. You just want to connect that by holding down on that green orb, and then connect it to the surface, and then you'll see that the texture has partially changed. That's good. That shows us that it has been connected. So what we need to do next is hit Shift A again on our keyboard, and then S, and this time hit Image, and then we have our first image texture, which we'll use to import all of our textures that we grabbed earlier. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our node tree area, which I'm going to do by going to Game, Characters, Player, Male, Medium, Bodies, and we'll want to go to Soldier Redux, Skins, that's skin name, textures, and then we'll want to select all of these. Now that I have them all selected, they are imported, so I'm going to want to switch over to this D texture right here, and then I'm going to want to drag it and connect it to the diffuse. And then what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to Shift A again and add another image texture, and then I'm going to want to choose the M texture instead. And this time, instead of just connecting it immediately to that mask M area, I'm going to want to click on this sRGB bit and set it to non-color, and then I'm going to want to connect it to mask. And then I'm going to Shift A, S, image again. I'm going to want to click on that S texture, do the same steps to get it to a non-color texture, connect it right there, and then I can tab that one short if I want, and I can Shift A, S, image texture, and then I'm going to open up my N texture, set it to non-color, and connect it to my normal. And then boom, we have the body textured. So now we just got to real quickly repeat this exact system one last time, or a couple more times, just to texture everything up so everything will look like it's from the game. And then after that, we have to do one more step, which I'll explain to you how to do, which I recently learned about actually on how to do it, and it's really cool that I learned to do it when I did. because if I didn't, then I wouldn't be able to show you it, and it makes porting a much more easy. So now I'm just gonna go through and texture these real quick. You can try to speed through it as well, but I wouldn't recommend taking your time, because it'll make your node work look a little bit nicer if you take time and make sure that you're doing everything right. But enough of me talking, let me just finish this up real quick. Also, you can ask any questions you want in the workshop chat, and I'll try to get to them as fast as possible so I can answer your questions. I want to select all of those, put those. Then we're doing the head texture, so we're going to want to do that. There. I'll pull you over. Okay, that was that was the hair. Boom. Clear. By the way, the non-color step is pretty important to make, because it allows your textures to work properly. Because if they're set as an sRGB, it can mess with the texture setup. Just thought I'd mention that. Then, boom, check. Delete, Shift A, FN, drop you down, drag you, connect you, Shift A, S, image, drag you over, hair, boom, oh, I hit the duplicate bind. Thank you. I've been doing this for a while, so I just kind of got used to it so far. If you do this for a while, you'll probably get pretty fast at it, probably faster than I am, because I'm kind of dumb most of the time, and I just kind of make mistakes as I go. So you'll probably see me fix stuff pretty consistently. Just because I'm just not very smart when it comes to doing stuff. I believe you can ask Robot that, or Wholesome BF, and he'll be able to say yes. Although don't, because I'll hurt my mental image. Yeah, I will be uploading this to YouTube in case you need to rewatch it. But now that I have all the texture set up, you may notice something a little bit weird. You'll see that the head texture and the body texture aren't the same color. There's a very simple way to fix this, and all you need to do is go to here, and then you'll see this bit that says skin color. Just hit that, and then you want to have that sRGB panel open. The reason I told you not to close umodel is because you're going to need to actually open it again. We're going to want to hit O, and then we're going to want to go back to our body, which we can get back to by going back to the bot command that we put in commands. And we can just copy our texture, which is the second bit there. We can just paste it back in there. And then once we're there, we want to look for the material. The material this time we want to look for, because this will have the information that we need, which we can get access to by just typing that in, and then the textures and materials are always in the same folder. But now we should have the ability to hit M on our keyboard. That's weird. It should be loading right now, but for some reason it isn't. I tested it right before the thing. Which, that's awkward. I tested this right before and it was working, so I don't know what's going on. No, it has to be, yeah, there we go. There we go. I just had to load a texture real quick for some reason. But there we go. Now we have this. What we're going to want to do is we're going to hit M on our keyboard. And then right here we get skin, boost, color, and exponent. What we're going to want to do is we're going to want to input those values as our RGB values in this right here by just clicking on it and then typing them. You can round up to the thousandth, I believe, and it'll look pretty similar, but I'm going to type out the whole thing, which in this case is 489,583 for the R. For this one, it is 0.315,679. And then for the last one, it is 0.28. Oh wait, no, I read the wrong one. It's 30344. And then you may need to turn it up a little to just kind of match it. But yeah, there you go. You should have your skin ported. Do we have any questions? The skin exponent. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. I forgot. I wasn't paying attention. Yeah. I'll just kind of line it up to what we were at, which was right there. And then boom. So, any questions? It depends on skin. Can you give an example? Maximilian. I may need to look for an example of that, but if I figure it out, I'll put it in the description of the video that I'm going to be uploading to YouTube, which will have this presentation. But if you want to save your work, all you need to do is go to File, External Data. You're going to pack all into Blend, then File, Save As, and then you can just set it as Jonesy, and then save it to wherever. This is a folder for a project I'm working on, so I'll just save it there and then move it later. But then boom, it's saved, and now you have your model that you can go and do whatever you want to do with it. Like, I can just do that, and then boom. Anyways, that was the end of this workshop. Thank you for attending. If you have any questions, don't feel bad asking them to me. You can ask them in DMs to me. I'm pretty lenient with that kind of stuff. But without further ado, that was this session. Thank you for coming, and goodbye.